Many people expected a big decision today by the board of directors at CBS. This following Friday's bombshell accusations that the chairman of the board and CEO Les Moonves was being accused by 6 women of sexual misconduct. But today's decision was, well, no decision. The news of the allegations first broke Friday as a New Yorker article chronicled accusations by 6 women claiming the media giant forcibly kissed and touched them and or stood in the way of their careers. Moonves denies the allegations, though he did say he recognized that decades ago he may have made women uncomfortable by making advances. Today, CBS released this statement following a meeting of its board. CBS Corporation announced today that its board of directors is in the process of selecting outside counsel to conduct an independent investigation. No other action was taken on the matter at today's board meeting. One woman who is no stranger to these types of cases is discrimination attorney Gloria Allred, who has been representing alleged victims of sexual misconduct and harassment for the better part of 40 years. Now, Moonves has admitted that he did some things. You go back to the 70s, 80s, 90s. Somebody puts a hand on someone else's shoulder and asks them out. Have we crossed the line into harassment that should be actionable? Or is there something to be said for women having the power to just push back and say, hey, leave me alone, I'm not interested?
Well, of course, women always have the right to push back and say, I'm not interested. Please do not make any other advances towards me. That hasn't changed. They always have the right to say no. The problem has been in the power dynamic. If someone is their boss or is in a position of power where they fear repercussions or retaliation if they say no, and even if they say yes and then say no at some point, the power dynamic itself can be very intimidating. This is an age of empowerment of women where they are going to speak out about the injustices that they allege that they have suffered. And this is, I think we need to get used to this because women are not going to suffer in silence anymore.
I mean, I've seen articles written, you've been called the ambulance chaser of sexual harassment. Do you think that over your career, you've done more harm than good?
Okay, that allegation is defamatory, and anyone who says that had better be ready to prove it in a court of law.
Gloria, nice to talk to you. Thanks for joining me tonight.
You too, Bill. Thank you.
You may know that Moonves' wife, Julie Chen, is a media giant in her own right. Chen hosts Big Brother on CBS as well as The Talk, which airs daily on CBS stations. The talk show covers news of the day at the top, and today Chen kept it short but wasted no time getting to the allegations against her husband.
Now, some of you may be aware of what's been going on in my life for the last few days. I issued the one and only statement I will ever make on this topic on Twitter. And I will stand by that statement today, tomorrow, forever. Let's get started.
Here's the statement Chen was referring to. I have known my husband, Les Moonves, since the late 90s and have been married to him for almost 14 years. Leslie is a good man and a loving father, devoted husband, and inspiring corporate leader. He has always been a kind, decent, and moral human being. I fully support my husband and stand behind him and his statement. Okay, let's bring in our A-plus panel to break this down. Republican strategist Allison Young and Democratic councilman from Linden, New Jersey, Peter Brown. Allison, I'm going to start with you. She came out, I thought, looking at that, we took some time to watch it ourselves, very strong, very composed, very confident in her husband's innocence. And what was interesting is that he admitted that he may have upset and made some people uncomfortable. Is this a question of just because of the environment we're in, that if you are accused, everyone just presumes you're guilty?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. All of this will live on social media and on the internet for forever now, anytime someone Googles his name. But with Julie Chen today, God, as a woman, I want to give the poor woman a hug. How many times have we seen this with in politics, in the entertainment industry, where the wife has to go and stand by her man? It's heartbreaking to watch as a woman, but I think she handled it today with a lot of class and a lot of dignity. I give her all the props.
As a woman, do you think that this movement, you're talking about Me Too and just generally speaking, you heard from Gloria Allred, who is all over this stuff. This is like fresh meat for her. Does it help or hurt the relationship between men and women in the workplace?
I have a distinct opinion on this bill. I absolutely think it hurts. I think it makes it harder, honestly, in the long run for women to get hired, because I think people are fearful right now that something's going to come out.
Peter, what do you think?
I think to Alice's point, his wife did handle it well. You couldn't tell that anything was going on, because this is something that, as a public figure, I guarantee you she's getting emails, phone calls. Everyone's coming out and has an opinion on the situation. However, the show could have still brought up and talked about the issue, because this is news that's out there for a publicly traded company, where she could have sat out this conversation. That show, in my opinion, should at least have addressed this issue.
All right, thanks, guys.